We get a lot of questions on how do you guys get these food sponsors, right? Well, we're lucky enough to now have food sponsors, some amazing restaurants that will jump on board with any event that we do. But the way that we found this food sponsors was actually a very easy trick that you can do. We looked in town and said, what are the brand new restaurants, right? The brand new restaurants that are really cool, trendy, and have a great happy hour, right? That young professionals want to be at. And we came up with a list of several. And we actually approached them, and they were owned by the same owner, which we didn't know at the time, which is pretty cool. And we said, hey, we throw these amazing events, right? And they're in, a few block radius of you typically, and they're geared towards young professionals that would actually eat at your restaurant, that you would find at your restaurant all the time.
In fact, we had eaten there before we even approached them to sponsor our event, and so it was just a good fit. It was a good fit.
It was perfect. And so when we said, we can get you more exposure, right? These people live, within blocks of your restaurant. They were like, okay, great, let's try it out. Let's see if this works. And they got such rave reviews on food. The first event that we had, everyone ate everything. Everyone ate everything, and so they said next time we need to bring a lot more. But they've been able to, one, be branded as a really cool restaurant, right? Because they've also had the brand associations of our events and the different amazing big sponsors that we have on board, right? So it provides that legitimacy. And so people think they're a really cool restaurant, and they've been able to try things from that restaurant that they normally wouldn't, and their food is really, really good, and they have great happy hours for young professionals. Well, for anyone, but especially for young professionals. And it's just been a great fit. And so finding, a restaurant like that, a brand like that has that same demographic. Again, it has to be mutually beneficial, right? And so explaining to them why this is a good idea, why it was important.
So a couple keys to that was we picked restaurants that were literally right in the area, like we could walk to from the party.
Yeah.
That we
Which
hosted.
we had an after party at one of the restaurants.
Which is the point I was gonna make, is that's another selling point. Is you can say, hey, look, we're gonna end the party at this time, and we're gonna tell everybody to go to your restaurant. So we'll drive more business to you afterwards. We'll pay you back by letting you host the after party. And that's a great way to sell this food sponsor on getting them to donate all the food for your event, because the people are gonna go to the party. You've ended it a little bit too early, of course, because you wanna end it at the peak and get people wanting to do something else. So they'll actually go to the after party, which is right down the street. It's easy, and they're gonna spend money on more food and drinks.
And a lot of the time, the restaurants that we work with, they will, as people are eating the food and stuff, they will have like coupons out, like really nice ones. We don't allow any cheap stuff. Our brand, our personal brand, and everything that we do, we hold to a very high standard and a very high level. And so they have these really nice coupons that will either be, get a drink for free, get half off your meal, or an appetizer, or whatever it is. And so it's really easy to push people that way, right? When we say, hey, the after party's, over at X restaurant, then everyone just walks down there. And you've got to remember too that people are going to continue drinking, and most restaurants make a bulk of their money off drinks, right? Off the booze. And so if you have a young crowd that's already drinking, like in our case, right? And we always, like Lloyd said, very important, we always end our event a little bit early, because we want to end it when it's still on a high note. It's still good, right? We don't like it to, like, everyone fizzle out and then end it. No, that's not how we roll.
Yeah. If people hang around, they're hanging around, and we're asking them to help clean up.
Yeah. Right? So that is one of the big things with how you get food sponsors, right? Is just look around. Who's gonna benefit from this? Who makes sense for this? And explain to them, just like we explained to you, on why this is a good idea for them, right? They're gonna have that. They're gonna make up the money in the booze. They're, you know, when people come afterwards, right? And not only that, the additional exposure. So it's a great fit. On top of, you're gonna be plugging them on social media and all that stuff, but we'll cover that more in the content explosion.